Hello dear friends and followers, welcome back to Officer Aerospy channel. So in the last video we studied everything about the jet engine and how it evolved. So in this video we'll answer how jet engine produce the useful work and what that work is used for. And at last of the video we'll decide which is the best engine fitted for a best aircraft. So without wasting a time, let's begin. Yes. Is it possible to achieve a high thrust and high efficiency with a small, light engine at the same time? One of the prerequisite skills of engineer is to understand the fundamental and the contradictory constraint of a jet engine and balance them for a given specification. So how to balance these ideas we'll see in this episode. The theory of the jet propulsion came from a Newton's third law of motion, as everyone knows this, stating that for every force acting on a body there is an equal and opposite reaction. The jet engine applies this principle by forcing a fluid in one direction, so creating an equal reaction that is thrust in the opposite direction. So in the modern jet engines, that is a gas turbine engines, they burn fuel to convert their energy into something useful work. For example, let's say turbojet is essentially a tube when air enters through the intake, that is compressed, mixed with the fuel and heated in the combustor, expanded to the turbine and finally expelled from a nozzle. This cycle is known as a Brayton cycle. Here, well-known gangsters come nearly the pressure, volume and temperature. They act as a most of the time. When we look at the compressible law of flows, for a convergent and divergent space, two conditions applies. For convergent space, speed will increase and pressure will decrease. For divergent space, speed will slow and static pressure will increase. Yes, in shorter way, for a simple gas turbine, hotter the engine is run, the greater the pressure and higher will be the jet velocity. So why to build bigger gas turbine engines? Studies suggest that the core of the gas turbine can be about 20 times as powerful as same size of piston engine. This is because of the continuous cycle as a large open flow path of a gas turbine. It can admit 70 times as much as the equivalent size piston engine and produce 70 times more energy and can be utilized for a useful work. So our aeroplane, our gas turbine engine is our hero. Let's say our hero is fitted on an engine. For an aero engine, thrust transmitted to the airframe can be given by the mass flow of air passing through the engine multiplied by increase in the speed of that engine. Air approaches with a V flight and ejected as a V jet. If the mass flow is W, then a thrust is given by the F is equal to W into V jet minus V flight. As we know, this formula F is equal to W into V jet minus V flight is given for a thrust. There are two ways to increase thrust. The mass flow W passing through the engine can become a larger or V jet can be increased. To increase the mass flow, jet engine must be a higher frontal area. This will be a bigger, heavier and produce more drag. On the other hand, if you increase the V jet, that makes the engine more noisier and increase the fuel consumption needed to obtain a given thrust. So the main task of aero engine designer is to obtain a compromise between these two factors and decide which is the best engine fitted for a best aircraft of configuration. So in the next video we'll discuss everything about the engines in a more detailed way. So till then, please subscribe the Officer Aerospy channel if you're not yet subscribed. Press the bell icon for notification. Please comment in the section below how you like the video and meet you up in the next video. Your Officer Aerospy.